Hey everyone, how about here? Breno video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be going over the 200% category for the Dokkan Festival exclusive Golden Week Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So first and foremost, I'm going to discuss the unit. I didn't do the preview and all this stuff. All this stuff ended up dropping early in the morning last night, and I just go to bed, right? So I think it dropped like around 1 o'clock in the morning, and of course I have work, and this is the time when I'm able to record this video. So let's just go over the unit really quickly. The leader skill is really the most important thing, since we're going to be talking about the 200% category. So it is Majin Buu Saga Otherworld Warriors Accelerated Battle. I'm bummed out there's no Super Saiyan 3, and I did a whole video discussing why they should have had Super Saiyan 3 category as a 170% leader skill, or at least the 200% option here. And then you do have, it is at least a triple double 200% leader skill, and you do have two other categories that will boost to 200%, which will be Kamehameha and Time Limit. Kamehameha is going to really limit 200%, right? So, and then of course Time Limit also does that as well. I would have actually rather have something that's a little bit more wide when it comes to the 200% boost. But anyway, that is the leader skill. Let's look at the passive. I know it's really small here, so I'll make it bigger. So I think it's a very impressive passive skill here. It has an entrance animation. It's also a little bit of letdown as well, where it's more like the transformation with the Super Saiyan 2 Goku into Super Saiyan 3, more so than it's kind of like its own thing. Or when I was hoping, like, hey, here's Super Saiyan 1, here's Super Saiyan 2, and then further beyond, right? I think a lot of people were hoping for that. But anyway, the passive itself, the skill itself for the entrance animation is quite good. It's pretty long, so basically you get the chance of performing for critical hit for 50% for 5 turns from the character's entry turn, reduces damage by 90% upon the character's entry, and then with each turn passed, damage reduction of 15%, and then no more than 90%. Now you might go, every time you get to use this unit, like every rotation, it's every turn pass. So remember, there's like when you're in turn 1, you don't get to come up again until turn 3. So you just got to remember that. So this is more like 30% each round. So the next time it's your turn again for this unit here, you'll be at 60%, and then after that will be 30%, and it'll basically go away. So basically 3 rotations, this damage reduction will dissipate. So, and then you can only activate this if there is another Majin Buu Saga category ally on the team. I'm so happy that it's ally on the team, not on the turn. However, there is a little bit of a limitation down here, but yeah, you should be able to do this no problem, right? Automatic if you're going to run the team that we're going to be talking about here. Now, the rest of the passive is pretty good. It's key +2 attack and defense 150%. I was hoping for 200 here, but 150 is fine. And then plus an additional attack and defense 150% when performing a super attack. Reduces damage by 5% with each super attack performed, up to 30%. I wish this was higher. I wish this was 50%. And a medium chance of performing for critical hit, and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. That's really strong there, right? And when there's another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking in the same turn, there's 2 options here now. So you can get huge defensive boost, which is going to be defense 100% and guards if you're in first position, or you're going to have a really strong attack boost, which you're going to get attack 100% and launches additional super attack as the second or third attacker. So either one, but of course this one's going to be more defense oriented. And this, since the super attack greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, you're not going to lose too much out on defense except for the guard. So if you already have type advantage, you should be fine. But yeah, first position is going to be really strong here. Now, if that wasn't good enough, which is really good here, high chance of nullifying Ki Blast super attacks directed at the counter and countering with tremendous power. That's huge there, because there's a lot of enemies with Ki Blast super attacks. So again, really strong passive skill here. And then you do have an active skill here, which you can activate this after the 4th turn when there's another Majin Buu Saga category ally attacking the same turn. And basically what it is just an additional attack boost and then guaranteed crits. So massively raises the attack temporarily, causes ultimate damage to enemy, and then all attacks become critical hits, and it's a full power Kamehameha. So very good there. And then this unit is going to be able to use on a bunch of different categories. However, because of his limitation, it will be limited because of that issue. So it's not as free forming as the other Super Saiyan 3, the STR one, where you can use it on all these categories and not have any restrictions, which, you know, that's a big restriction here, is at least having one Majin Buu Saga character on the team, which shouldn't be too hard. But right here, having this ability to have this guard and defense in the first position, or attack and guaranteed additional super attack in the second or third. All right, so that's a huge boost. So that's tough for these other categories here. Anyway, so that's the unit in of itself. I think it's a strong unit. Let's go ahead and dive into the category in of itself, and let's look at what options we have at 200%. So I'm using the JP one here. So there are, like, for example, this unit has an EZA yet, and I'm guessing the Rose, the global first Rose is on here as well, but that's not showing up. But yeah, this is EZ8, of course. So the reason why I'm using the JP, I'm just wondering, you know, what units on JP that they have, which is going to be on this team, and it's not really that much more, right? The EZA to MUI Goku is one, of course. This is going to happen on global, which is great. I'm so glad that they did that, because if you look at the teams that you're building, this is going to be a required unit. You have some other units here that are overall pretty good that you can run here, but again, JP and global is not much of a huge difference, besides like the MUI Goku, which is a top tier unit. So if you look at anything else over here, nothing much over here. Of course, they're not showing the new Gotenks, the new Evil Buu, and then of course the Dokkan Festival exclusive Majin Buu here. These units aren't showing, but of course those are going to be at 200% as well. So you're looking at the rest of these units on here, not much going on. You do have this unit on JP, which is not going to be on global, and to see if there's anything else. But yeah, these are options. So one of the things that I noticed on the 200% is not many high-end support units, which made me sad to see that the Banner Gotenks was not a support unit. Now again, this is only at 200%. So I really didn't dive too deep into looking into support units in the other categories, right? Majin Buu Saga in general should have several. The Other World Warriors is not that big, and then Accelerated Battle is pretty good. So when it comes to support, again, it's very limited for those here. So these are your 200% options. So let's go ahead and take a look at, you know, what this can create as a team, right? So, oh yeah, one thing I didn't mention here is we're hoping for some of these units to EZA, right? I really think that the Super Saiyan 2 transforming into Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta transforming into Majin Vegeta, those two should EZA in the celebration, okay? Now, the funny thing, and then also the Tech, Evil, and Good Buu. The thing about Vegeta on this particular team, he doesn't run at 200% on that Super Saiyan 2 one, right? So just know that that doesn't happen on here. But these could be some possible options that you can run. I just didn't really technically put them on the team at this point in time, because I put them in the alt space. But you know, if they are going to EZA, hopefully they're going to be really good. So for example, this is the 200% team on JP that you could run here. Again, lack of support, so I didn't put a support unit on here. I'm looking here at like the Super EZA Gotenks. I'm guessing you can switch these two around. The reason why I'm putting those units there in that spot is because they're Majin Buu Saga allies, and you want to have them in the same turn. So having in the same turn, you're going to have that additional defense or offensive boost depending on first position or second position. Now, I did put the Super Saiyan 3 Goku in first position here, so more defensive oriented, but of course you can switch it up depending on the situation that you're in when you're fighting. Now you do have an option, so you do, of course, you see some alts down there you can run. You do have an option to run it in second position, right? and that way you can actually run Vegeta Blue or Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I don't recommend it because you are going to have to run your floaters as Majin Buu Saga units so that Super Saiyan 3 Goku can activate that additional boost, right? But the nice thing about this, especially when it comes to MUI Goku, which is top tier, right? That's the unit that you really want in main rotation. That unit there is, is something that you always want to run if you can run it at 200%. However, like Vegeta Blue and Super Saiyan 4 Goku, you're like, okay, do I want to give that up just for that spot? Maybe I can just leave him here as a floater, right? Another option that you can do is you can run the Vegito, the Super Vegito, like the EZA Super Vegito in that position as well, right? So that gives you the option to then say, okay, what other Majin Buu Saga unit can I run in that floater spot? And I put the Gotenks on there, but you can't, since they're both Gotenks, right? You can't run them. You generally don't want to run them. You could, right? You could run them as double floater on there. If this unit EZAs, right, then that would be an easy solve. You can put that there. Maybe he's good enough to be in the main rotation because he's going to link very good with the Super Saiyan 3, right? So that is an option that could happen there, right? But the problem is you can't run, like if you want to run Goku in first position, you have to run it in, over here, and then move this down here. So there are options you can run. There are differences, flexibility, but I was hoping for a lot more flexibility here, and I think that Majin Buu Saga attacking the same turn does kind of limit this unit here, which I'm not a huge fan of limitation, especially on main rotation. Could you run them as a floater? Sure, you can definitely do that, but then you would make sure you have to run a Majin Buu Saga unit in the main rotation, so when that unit floats to the main rotation, it can get that additional buff, right? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing here when it comes to the 200% team that you're generally going to run when you start off with. That's on JP, however. Now, if you run this on global, it's going to look a lot different, right? So you don't have the super EZA to the Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So you're generally just going to be running the Int Gotenks on there. Again, if this guy EZAs, this probably might be a better spot for him there. That could you even run Buhan on this team? Sure. But I did put Kefla on here. I put the Super Saiyan 3 Goku on here, and I put the Goku on here. So you could run extreme units if you wanted to. You can run Buhan on here. Some other units if you choose to, but I just kind of kept this as a super team, and I think it still runs fairly good. Right now, the question is, will this crack the top 10? I would assume so, but would they crack the top 4, top 5? I don't know. Like, if you saw my last best teams videos, the abbreviated version, because I was like, okay, Golden Week's going to change a lot of things. We're going to have to play with this quite a bit to figure out, okay, are these units, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the new Majin Buu, are they, better than Vegeta, right? Are they tip top when it comes to Dokkan Festival exclusives? We'll test it out. We'll find that out, right? And then, of course, the new Red Zone is going to determine, too, right, with the value there. And if, of course, this is a Majin Buu Saga team, it could give us an advantage where I would put this in number 1, being that it's advantage with the hardest red zone in the game. So slight advantage, but ultimately important to consider as well. But anyway, that's the breakdown here. That is the 200% teams that you can kind of run. Like, again, there's a bunch of stuff that we still have to do. I'll do the full breakdown like I normally do with a lot of units here. When the data download comes out, we can do some testing, maybe do some summoning for that. But besides then, that's what we're going to look at this point in time. So anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all this. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we'll catch you next time. Later.